let's talk about just 401 first of all, because that was one of my favorite things to follow on social media. Because people turned on, they're waiting for the season premiere, This Is Us, and they see these people and they have no idea who they are. And they're like, am I on the right channel? Like, what happened? Did they take the show off the air? And like on social media, they're like, who are these people? Where are the big three? Like, give me something to hold on to. And then the reveal happens, and they're like, oh, okay. Okay, that was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like to see Jack Damon, to know who he is in the context of the greater story, the introduction of Malik and Jennifer Morrison, like it was really special. And it was something. Dan was very nervous, very nervous. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to lose my audience. I took a big swing. It may have been too much for network television. And then when he saw in the end, the people were like, okay, you had us wondering for a second, but you brought it back together. And he's like, he took a deep, deep breath. But kudos to you, Fogelman, for taking the big swing. And it's interesting. Like last year, you saw a little bit of turmoil between Beth and Randall. Now you see a little bit of tension between Toby and Kate. You know, how they want to raise this child. Toby's insecurities around his child's disability and whether or not he can make peace with that and just love him fully. Kate struggling with weight. Toby shedding goo gobs of weight, right? And like, what does that mean for Kate, who said at one point in time in her life, I can't date a fat person, right? And now she sees him going through this metamorphosis and she's like, what does that say about me, right? Kevin, honestly, as an audience member, I find Kevin infinitely fascinating. His quest for love, like trying to find his person, right? You know, Jack has Rebecca, Randall has Beth, Kate has Toby. And you see now that Kevin is really yearning to find his person too. We just keep getting deeper, man. I go into that writer's room, Carlos, and they are so conscientious about the story that they want to put forward, making sure that people see themselves in all of the stories. And I feel like it really is a blessing to be 4 years in and still caring at that level and still connecting with the audience the way that we are. I when I fan out, like I forget when I watch the show that I'm in the show and I just watch it for the connection. Like there's this you have fans come up to you and they talk to you about what the show means to them and it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But they oftentimes just feel like I call my mom, I call my brother, like we watch it together and then we talk, right? I feel like that myself. Like even though I read it and I shot it, like after I finished watching it, I was like, I haven't spoken to my brother in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And so when I see, because we shoot things so individualistically, as a matter of fact, through the first half of the season, I don't think that I have a scene in the physical space of Kate and Kevin until Thanksgiving, right? So as a fan, I'm seeing what's going on in my brother and sister's lives the same way that the audience is seeing it too. I feel as if we have to still be the core of it, and I don't mean that in a sort of egotistical way. I just feel like we've been a part of the journey from the beginning. If you lost that kernel, then things might sort of fracture. But as long as we're there, the people that come in and out of our worlds are fascinating because they impact our lives. Yeah. It's my favorite job. I get a lot of jobs, but like this is my favorite. And it's my favorite because over the period of time, you do a movie for a few months or whatnot, and then you're gone. And you love those people and you get a chance to see them when you're promoting it. But when you do a show, and we do 18 episodes a season, and the nature of our show is about a family, and so we have become a family. And we've been in each other's lives for 4 years now. And when I think of Chrissy, that's my sister. When I think of Justin, that's my brother. You know, Mandy and Milo aren't my parents because they're younger than me, but they're still those people in my life. But we get a chance to spend so much time with each other. And I think we're all tremendously proud and appreciative of the content that we're putting out into the world, that we're making people feel things. Because so much of this life these days is about keeping things from coming in, and the fact that people are giving themselves permission to feel, and that we get a chance to be a conduit to that feeling. It feels like there's that sweet spot of when you get a chance to entertain people, to teach them something about the world that they live in, and to uplift them simultaneously. Like, we get a chance to do that with this show. The show, people are still watching it. Like, lots of people are still watching it. And critics are still sort of like welcoming us in a way that says, like, okay, yeah, you're a network television show, but you know what? You guys are really good. And I don't know, man. Like, I know we have at least 2 more seasons that we get a chance to do it. I savor every day. I savor every day on this show because I know it may not happen again, right? Something else spectacular or wonderful in its own particular way may happen, but this particular specialness will never happen again. And I think all of us to a person know it and are overjoyed to be a part